Good morning, my friends, or afternoon or evening when you decide to watch this. But welcome back to the Speak Truth podcast. For me, it's in the morning hours, and I'm just sitting here outside by the pool doing a second take because as I explained maybe in my previous podcast that me and technology, I love it. Anyways, there's been times I recorded my podcast and there was nothing there. And this time I actually recorded, and then someone actually called me on my phone and it stopped the recording. And it was going very well. So here we go. Second time's a charm, I hope. So we're going to be talking about he who walks with wise men becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. Proverbs 13:20. Oh my goodness, so my friends, I just want to share this because this is what I read yesterday and got from the Bible yesterday. I do the Bible in a year every day. So I was like, this is a good topic or conversation to talk about. To be aware and ask yourself the question, who do we surround ourselves with? Who influences us in our life? Do they make us better or worse? Do they lift us up or put us down? Do they love us or control us? So these are some questions we need to reflect on. People in our life should love us, right? And want to lift us up and help us become the best version of ourselves. And if not, we just might want to reconsider who we let and allow into our life. So don't be influenced by those in your life that do bad, cause harm or injury. Rather, associate yourself with those who influence you to be and do your best. Because whether you heard that quote from the Bible, Proverbs 13:20, or you might have heard this more popular one, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that is a quote from Rohn. So this is a topic for you today, my friend, is to really sit back and ponder and reflect on your life. Like, who has influenced you in your life? Who had a positive impact in your life or a negative impact in your life? And who do you still keep and surround yourself with? Because again, you are the sum or the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you're walking with wise people, then you're going to become wise. If you're walking with people who are foolish, then you're going to be a fool like them. I have another mentor who says something about, if you hang out with shit, you're going to become shit. I'm like, oh, okay. So you have to really ask yourself, are the people that you hang out with, are they living up to their full potential? Can you look at them and say they're a good example and say, hey, I want to live like them. I want to be like them. Or are they just mediocre and just living their life, getting by, in life? So you want to surround yourself with people who lift you up. But at the same time, you also want to be friends with those who look up to you. So another thing I got from a mentor, he talked about the 33% rule, is that you want to associate yourself with 33% of people who lift you up, who inspire you to be successful, that you can set goals and say, okay, I want to be like them. I want to attain goals like them. Who are those people that can mentor me, that can influence me and push me to reach those goals so I can be successful and be the best that I can be, right? To live up to my full potential. And then there's going to be people, 33% of people that are your average, just like you, that you have in common. You like to go out to the bar, you like to go dancing, drink, go out to dinner, have good food, dance, go exercising, have good conversations, eat, whatever that is. You get along, whether it's family and friends, and you have a similar life. You kind of just feed back off each other and just listen to each other and spend time with each other. And then there's a 33% rule of where you need to be the mentor for people under you, because there's always going to be someone that's going to look up to you and say, wow, you got it going on. You have this life, or, I want to learn from you, maybe you're spiritual, whatever. So there's going to be someone who has more than you in life and someone who has less than you in life. And then you have people who have maybe the same and average as you. So that's called the 33% rule. So putting this all together, really, we can make an impact in someone else's life and someone can make an impact in our life. But we need to know, who are those people? Are we following people that are going to lead us to the better way, the best way? Or are they going to lead us astray? So you need to know who your influence is and who you're following and who are you giving your time and energy to, right? Because we can be deceived by false prophets, right? Or influencers who say, hey, look at me, follow me. I can make you millions of dollars. I can help you and show you the way to success and to having the life and having it all. Anyone who tells you that that you can have it all here on earth is it's false. It's a lie. If you want to have it all, well, that all comes from God. So here comes the spiritual drop, right? You want it all, and I could tell you that Jesus is the way. He is the biggest influence that anyone should look up to impact your life. Like, he is the one you would want to be more like, right? Not all these movie stars or famous or rock stars or NBA players or sports stars, whatever. That's cool if they inspire you because that's what you want to do. But don't let them be like your God and idol and like, I got to worship and praise and do everything that they say. Their word is like gold. No, the only word that is gold is God. Like, God's word is the truth, right? Jesus says it time and time again. Well, I'll say it time and time again when Jesus said that once in the Bible, John 14:6, that I am the way, the truth, and the life. So ask yourself, we can follow people, you can have people mentor you and stuff, but don't have them be like you're all it, that you worship and praise them. And like, oh my goodness, I want to be like them. I want to be that rock star. Like, oh, God bless them, praise them. And you give your whole life and energy and attention to them. Because what did I write today? God created us so we can have a close relationship with him. Anything that keeps us or takes us away from God is an idol. So I know I'm kind of just going, this conversation, just being honest and raw here, right? You're my friend. I'm sitting down here. You're sitting next to me in the chair here by the pool, having a conversation with you. So I'm just kind of speaking what is on my chest and what kind of leads to the next thing. So yes, influence is a big thing. You must know, our first influence is our parents, right? That's all we know. Our parents, mom and dad, they're our influence. And sometimes their influences might not be the greatest influence. You might have parents that are, abusive, alcoholics, who are sick and unhealthy. And therefore that kind of carries on to you or passed on to you because you see that, you're living it, you're breathing it, you're in that environment. And so starting off life in maybe a toxic environment growing up could be hard to make the shift and change. But I always like to say, we can't blame our past. It is what it is. We were put into this earth, onto this planet, and came about in that family. We didn't choose our family. So we got to love our family. We got to love all the good and bad that we've learned from our past. But when you're an adult, you have the choice to say, okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like that. I saw the bad in my family or my parents or those people around me growing up, and I choose better. I don't want to do that. So sometimes it could help you. I know my father was an alcoholic, and he was absent from my life, and he feels so guilty to this day. And I always tell him, I said, Dad, you need to let it go. I forgive you. I love you. I always tell him, you kind of did us a favor not being around, because if we saw you that behavior and abuse, maybe I would have been more like you. So growing up as a kid, I always knew my father was an alcoholic and he left my mom and this and that, had his issues. But I didn't miss it because you can't miss something you never had. So I didn't have a father growing up because he left when I was like a toddler. And so it was just me, my mom, my brother growing up. And that's all I knew. And I was fine with that. But, he has the guilt. And I tell him, you need to let go of that. Forgive yourself. Free yourself from that pain and from that past. So people could influence you to do good or to do bad. And by seeing other people's way of actions and behaviors, we could take a look and say, hey, I choose to be like that or choose not to be like that. I don't want to do or repeat what my parents did or my grandparents did or what my friends do. I can remember in high school, I remember my friends would drink till they got out of control, that their heads were in the toilet, puking and passed out on the toilet. And I said, you know what? I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to drink to where I'm puking and my head is in a toilet. Disgusting. And to this day, I don't think I've ever puked from drinking. Yes, in high school, I drank and stuff, got tipsy, I passed out because I was dizzy and drunk, but I never puked. It never got to that point. And they came to a point in my life now I don't drink because I realized it doesn't serve me. I don't like how it makes me feel because it's spirit you're putting in you, and you believe me, you get possessed, right? You either see the good or the bad. What is it? The worst in people. Sometimes like alcohol just brings out the worst in people, my friend. Oh my, because I hear the stories like where I feel like people are timid and afraid to speak their truth. And when they drink, that's when they feel like they can say or do whatever they want and use that alcohol as an excuse, because they normally wouldn't do that thing if they weren't intoxicated, right? So alcohol and drugs make you, do things that you normally wouldn't do. And then therefore there's going to be maybe some regrets or embarrassment that you have to deal with after the fact. If anything, if I drank, I was the type that get I'd be the one that gets silly and loud and laughing. I just start laughing at everything. So therefore, hopefully maybe I was at peace with myself, because I'm sure if I had some anger or something within me, then maybe I'd shout and scream and curse and stuff, getting it out because I was afraid to speak it out. But no, I never got to that point. But anyways, this conversation is just talking about really, I just want to get back to the start of everything, about the influence. If you walk with wise men, you become wise. If you walk with fools, you'll be a fool. So if you feel like you're trying to become a better person and your friends, that you've been friends your whole life, and you're like, I can't make a change. I've been friends with this person, or I knew this person, or these are my parents, and you can make a change. And they might not like it, but that's fine. It's your life. You can't you can't keep walking a life that you're not happy with, or surround yourself with people that influence you to be a person that you're not. If you don't like to drink and you keep showing up at the bar, drink with your friends, and you leave like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like this, but they're my friends. And, you don't want to eat a lot, and your friends eat unhealthy, and they're always inviting you to go out, and it's like unhealthy food. And you're like, I don't want to eat this. It's make me sick. I want to get to better shape. I want to feel healthier. So you have to think about it. These people that you surround yourself, family and friends, how are they showing up in your life? How they make you feel? Do they lift you up or put you down? Do they help you to be better or worse? Do they love you unconditionally, or only love you because there's control and there's rules that you have to follow and live by? Someone who truly loves you, they're going to want the best for you. And so if you say, hey, I want to make a change, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to act like this anymore, I don't want to behave this way, I don't want to dress this way, or whatever it is, I want to, better myself. If they truly love you, like, cool. And then guess what? If you start changing your ways in your life and start bettering yourself, whether it's spiritually or in health, losing weight, or stop drinking alcohol or whatever that is, becoming a better person, and they see that, you might influence them to want to change their ways in their life. So maybe if you're in a situation right now and you've been contemplating and you realize, I want to change with my friends, it's hard, the influence, that I have in my life to make the change. They're going to hate me. I'm not going to have any friends. Who's going to want me in their life? Hey, believe me, I've been there when I made change in my life. People thought I was crazy and insane, like, what's going on with her? And you know what? You'll find better friends, healthier friends, people who truly will love and accept you for who you are. So if the people that you're surrounded with, your group of friends, the 5 people that you surround yourself with, are not influencing you to be the best that you can be, to your full potential, then you need to take a step back and reflect on your life and say, they're fun to hang out with 5 minutes, but it's not really doing the job. I know I could do better. I can be better at work in my career. I can be more successful. I can be healthier. I can be happier. These people are bringing me down or dragging me down. But you can't blame them either. You're hanging out with them. You're associating yourself with them. So you just need to reflect and say, how can I spend less time with them? Or just tell them, hey, I'm going to take a break. I'm making this change or whatever. You can join me or not. Let's do this together. Teamwork, accountability. You never know. Maybe your friends too want change and want better for their life. I think I was reading a book a couple years ago where, this person they were all alcoholics, or they drank and party, went to bars and clubs. And this one person wanted to start making change, so started drinking less. And they realized they were the only sober one in the bar. And they could realize and see how everybody else was just unhappy and miserable and just out of control. So sometimes when you're the sober one, you could see the true colors. You could see really what's going on. Because what's the saying? Misery loves misery, Think of it. If you're hanging out with your friends and all you're doing is bitching and complaining and moaning and groaning and gossiping and stuff, of course you're going to associate yourself with that because you're both all doing the same thing. But when you wake up to the truth and you sober up, you're going to see, wow, you're going to realize what you were missing out on in life, People are numbing themselves to hide some pain in their life, to distract themselves from working on themselves. So if you've been in that place, it's today. Hopefully this